Hello, everyone. This is Southern Belle Whisper. I hope you all are doing well today. In this video, I'm actually spending time at one of my favorite places. This is usually the place about 90% of the time that I come to pray and lay my burdens down before the Lord because it is so peaceful here and there's not a lot of traffic noise. There's nobody here. It's just me and nature and the Lord. And that's the way that I love it. And this is actually the place where I had and shared my most happiest of memories, whether it be in my childhood or adulthood. I love this place. And I consider myself so lucky that I'm only a walk away from it because I come here a lot. Maybe not as much as I should, but when I do come here, I feel such tranquility and peace. And I love all the sounds, all the different sounds of the birds and whatever cicadas, I guess, making those sounds. But I also wanted to be really honest and transparent with you guys in this video. I'm also using a new microphone. Now, don't ask me what it's called, but it's pink and it's one of those microphones that you clip to your shirt so you can go anywhere and use it because I intend to go for a walk one day so I can show you guys another one of my favorite places at some point. That's what I planned to do today, but so much has been going on that I just felt like sitting down and soaking up some sun and making this video. It is a beautiful day here in Virginia. It's not even 80 degrees. It's not humid or hot. It's perfect weather. So I wanted to give you guys an update on my mother because it kind of leads into the honest and transparency part of this video. My mother, has it been 3 days or two? You know, when you're going through a trial, time just seems to go by so quickly. And I can't remember if it's been 2 days or three. But she got really sick and weak. And so we had to have an ambulance come and get her and take her to the hospital. And she found out that she had a severe UTI. And they checked her for another stroke, but she has not had another stroke, thank God. She was having TIA episodes that were brought on by the UTI. If you don't know what a TIA is, it's minor strokes. It's like mini strokes. So everything seemed to be touch and go there for a couple days. But I went to go see her today, and she looked the strongest that she's been in weeks. And I'm just grateful to God for my prayer army that has been praying for her, people from church, people from the YouTube community. I cannot tell you how grateful I am for all the prayers she has received because I didn't know what was going to happen when she left the house. When the ambulance took her and she left the house, I didn't know what was going to happen to her. And that was just a really bad day. Uh, my mama went to the hospital, and then something else happened that just had me just so down in the dumps. Just down, you guys. But I've realized a lot the last few days. And this is where the honesty and transparency comes in. When I first got here, I had a mindset of this is the place that I want to find my peace and my healing. And I didn't take into account that somebody else might need me too. And I turned a blind eye to how sick my mother had become the last few weeks because I was so focused on what I was going through. And it's something that I've been praying about, you guys, and talking about my therapist with because I don't want to be that way anymore. I don't want to feel sorry for myself, and I don't want to be all about me and my struggles. Because while I was all about me and my struggles, my mother was at death's door. And I realized, what would I have done if God had decided to take my mother before I got a chance to tell her how sorry I was for not loving her and taking care of her to the best of my ability? What would I have done? I would have died of guilt, you guys. That's what happened to me. I would have died of guilt. I would have died of a broken heart. And it just made me realize so much that first off, I need to learn to love myself. I hate myself, and that's the problem. I only focus about the bad things about myself, and it makes me hate myself. But then I try to go out and I try to give all my love to others and to God even. But in my heart, not loving myself can cause a lot of problems in my life. Resentment, bitterness, and from hating myself, I take it out on other people because I don't want people to see the real truth and that I hate myself. And I don't say that in a negative way. It's something that I've realized recently. And I don't I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I'm learning to love myself, but there are still things about myself that I hate. There was a verse that I read this morning that spoke so much to what I'm going through. And it said, "Do not trade insult for insult." And that spoke volumes to me, you guys, because when I feel like in the moment, when I when I feel like I'm being attacked and someone is telling me things that I feel about myself, I will insult them and I will say the one thing that I know bothers them. And that's not the way to go about things. And I know it. It's something that I prayed about just this morning when I read that verse. I was like, God, I know it's not right of me to be defensive and to insult someone just because they're insulting me. If anything, he tells me to pray for them. He tells me, pray for the people that hurt you, even though you know you hurt them first. Pray for the people that hurt you instead of insulting them and, going for the jugular, you know? It makes me feel like a bully. And I've been bullied before, you guys, and I know how it feels to be bullied. And that makes me a bully. I've been a bully, and I know it. And I can look back on my yesterdays and know that I've been a bully without meaning to. And that hurts me more than anything, especially hurting the people that I love. It's and knowing that I hurt them and push them away, it hurts a lot. But I I hold grudges against people, and I hold bitterness in my heart and resentment against people that have put me down, bullied me, hurt me. And to be honest, at the end of the day, I just feel sorry for myself. And I take it out on other people when it's not their fault. It's nowhere near their fault. I did it to myself. But the preacher, I almost didn't go to church last night, you guys. I almost did not go to church last night because I was just so exhausted, not knowing what was going to happen to my mother, um, other things going on. It just seems when the enemy attacks you, everything seems to be happening at once. And I almost didn't go to church. I couldn't find a shirt to wear. All my shirts had spots on them. I couldn't find a shirt to wear. And I almost gave in. I almost threw in the towel. I was like, okay, I'm not going. But I am so grateful that I went because, and I can't pronounce the man that he talked about in the Bible who became a leader, who was rejected by his half brothers, pretty much rejected his entire life, and became a leader, became chosen by God, like Moses and David and Isaiah, just so many people in the Bible that were imperfect, that were made perfect by the love of God. And the preacher was like, you may have been rejected by the world, but you were redeemed and chosen by God. And that spoke volumes to me, volumes. But I also realized the reason, most of the reasons I've been rejected by the world is one, treating people not the way I would want to be treated. And for two, putting so much validation in love and trust into the world when the only one that I should be putting my love and trust in is God and myself. I have lived my entire life by the validation and the opinions of others. If somebody told me I was lazy, then I believed I was lazy. If somebody told me I was too tall, then I believed I was too tall. If somebody told me I was a hunchback, then I believed that I was a hunchback. If somebody told me I wasn't good enough, then I believed I wasn't good enough. But I look back now and I realize how much validation I put into negative remarks about myself by others instead of the positive remarks. I look back and I look to today and I realize how many people have told me, you're caring, you're kind, you're loving, you have a big heart. But I've been seeking the wrong validation. I've been seeking only the negative validation. And I want to change my ways, you all. I want to change my ways because at the end of the day, God tells me that I'm loved, that I'm enough, that I'm worthy, that I'm just all the good, positive things that He sees in me. And He sees those things in me as He molds me into the person that He sees me to be. And I need to focus on that. I need to focus on that. And I think the more I focus on that, the more I'll become a person that I want to be and the person that my loved ones deserve. Because the person that I am right now, I, I truly don't think I need anybody in my life. Because I know that at this present time, not being fully healed and being broken still, that I'll treat them in such a way that is not deserving. At this present time, I'm not healed enough for anyone, friend or relationship or anything. And right now, I just want to focus on loving myself, loving God, and becoming the person that I'm destined to be. And going to work, especially, and realizing that work is not just a job. It's not just a way to make money. I need to go into work with a grateful and giving heart and not go into it of this is a job, I'm exhausted, poor me, this person doesn't like me. Like, God put me in this field of work for a reason. And I know that I need to go into it by saying, I want to make a difference. And I want to care for these individuals to the best of my ability instead of only focusing on myself and my problems. Because you guys, I overthink all the time. All the time, I overthink. Like something bad can happen, somebody can hurt me, and for days, I'll just think about that, think about that, think about that, think about that, instead of letting it go and just saying, that's the past, learn from it. Sometimes we have to learn lessons the hard way. Sometimes God says, well, you didn't listen to me when I was nudging you and telling you that this wasn't for you, that at this present time, this person or this situation wasn't for you, and you wouldn't listen. So you had to learn the hard way. And you got hurt, and you're in pain, and I'm sorry. But sometimes we do have to learn lessons the hard way. and it sucks. And sometimes I'm not even in the knowing of that I'm learning a lesson the hard way. But recently, I know I've had to learn lessons the hard way. But this place is so beautiful. And talking with you guys and sharing my thoughts with you guys and what I'm truly feeling. Like, this is me. I'm not the person that I present to the world. Like, some of my good attributes, yes, that is me. Like, I'm caring and I have a big heart. But some negative attributes, that's not me and that's not who I want to be. I focus on the past a lot and I hold bitterness and resentment towards people. And I don't want to be that way anymore. I just want to focus on the beauty that's still around me. And I don't want to focus on the hurt or pain anymore. I just want to move on. And I want to be the person someday where people can see me and be like, okay, well, that's the real her. Okay, then. Well, I like this new her. I like this person, you know? But mostly I want God to be proud of me. And I don't think he's been very proud recently. But I just want to love you guys. And that's another thing. I don't want to feel like that I need a certain kind of love to be happy. Um, and that is uh, love from a man. Let's just be honest here. I don't want to feel like that just because I don't have a man that loves me, that I'm incomplete. And truth be told, I've always had that mindset since I was 5 years old. I've had crushes on boys. And then when they didn't like me, I was like, well, forget them then. But I've always had that mindset. High school, elementary school, my whole life. When I saw friends that were in relationships or getting married or falling in love, that's why I made the mistake of getting married at 22 to the first man that showed any sort of interest toward me. And I got married way too soon. I didn't love myself. And that was a big lesson to be learned. That was a huge lesson to be learned about not putting my love and faith into men, because I will get burned every single time. I want God to be enough. I want the love of my friends and my family to be enough. I want the love of loving myself to be enough. Truly, truly. That's why I'm glad that I have a woman after God's own heart Bible, because every single day that I study, my heart is being reformed and I'm realizing a lot. And does it hurt? Yes, it hurts. This lesson, it hurts. These lessons hurts and they're painful. But God never said that life wouldn't be painful or that it wouldn't hurt. You know, I've never been through labor before, But and the pain of of being hurt and learning lessons pr- probably ain't as painful as labor, but I mean, sometimes it has to be painful so I can, like, getting a spanking as a kid. Sometimes it has to be painful so you'll learn. And I'm learning, you guys. And that's the thing about being a God-centered woman is it's something I have to remind myself every single day. Being a Christian is hard. It's hard because there are days where you can feel God like He's right beside you, leading you, guiding you. And there are days where you can't even hear Him whisper. But every day, the enemy tries to sneak in again and again and again to wreak havoc on my mind. And I have to remind him every single day, get behind me, Satan. You don't belong here. And I I hope God blesses the day when I wake up and I don't have to remind the enemy to stay away from me. That I'm resting in the abundance of God's love and devotion. And I'm so centered on that the enemy doesn't have a place anymore. That I've built a wall like Job when Jesus put a hedge around Job so Satan could attack him and his mind and everything he had, but he couldn't touch his body. He couldn't touch his spirit. Or he couldn't touch his spirit. And I have to remember that every single day that the enemy, he can attack my mind, he can attack my heart, he can attack my body, but he can never attack my spirit. And at this present time, it's something I have to remind myself of every single day that Satan can break my mind, he can break my heart, but he can't break my spirit. And no matter what he does, no matter who he takes from my life, no matter how much I've been hurt, he can never, ever, 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 ever take God away from me. Because at the end of the day, I know God saved me for a reason. He saved me my entire life. And I know He did it for a reason, for a purpose, for others. And that's what I want to do, you guys. I want to be a vessel for Him, for others. So I want to stop focusing so much on myself. That was something I was told just the other day by someone. Stop thinking about yourself. And at the time, I was bitter about it. I was, you know, just bitter, resentful. But it's something that I thought on the past couple days. And the reason why I got defensive is because it's true. Because I knew it was true. Usually, something that somebody tells you when you're in a fight with someone and they tell you something like that, the reason you get defensive and want to insult them back is because you know it's true. You know it's true. And some things and fights with people, past, present, future, I wish I could take back insulting them because that's not the person I want to be. I'm not the person I don't want to be the person that insults people or makes them feel bad. I don't. Not with anyone, not even my enemies. I don't want to be that person. So I'm growing, you guys. God is molding me slowly but surely. But I'm looking up at the sun, which is actually pretty hot. I'm not going to lie. And I'm thanking God for 5 things right now. This is what I do with my evening prayers. I've started it recently. I said, God, I'm going to give you 5 things that I'm grateful for today. 1, I'm grateful that my mother is still here and that I can learn this lesson, even though the hard way. I'm glad she's still here so I can make up the hurt I've caused her because I love her more than anybody in my life and I'm grateful for her. And I'm grateful for my aunt, her baby sister. That's number 2, who has been by her side through this whole time. I'm grateful for, for my aunt. 3, I'm grateful for my job, for being understanding that I had to call out today just in case my mother were to need me. I'm grateful for my job for being so understanding. I am grateful that God is molding me into the person I want to become and the person I want to be. And was on 4 or 5. And number 5, I'm grateful for lessons so that I can learn and be a better person. So those are 5 things I'm grateful for. And I'm grateful for nature. We'll just put a little extra one on that. I'll let y'all hear the creek for a second because it is so relaxing. Just sitting here. I've got my book with me. I couldn't read the Magnolia Parks book. I got like a chapter in, and there was so much cussing in it that I couldn't stand it. And it had a really good plot too. I was really excited about it, but I couldn't do it. Not with that much cussing. I couldn't do it. I'm trying to work on my cussing, you guys, so I couldn't do it. But now I'm about to read Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. And I also have Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I'm getting more and more back into uh, hopeless romanticism. Probably won't help me in the long run, but it's my guilty pleasure. I can't help it. And by the way, I also watched the 8th episode of The Summer I Turned Pretty last night. You guys, I'm going to cry when this season ends. I might have to restart it from the very beginning. This episode broke my heart. Broke my heart. The soundtrack is just gorgeous. The end of this episode had Cardigan by Taylor Swift at the end. And oh God, it was just so beautiful. I definitely recommend it if you haven't watched it yet. But, anyways, I love you guys and bless you guys. And I will be talking to you soon. Love you guys. Bye bye.